system approach. What does it mean by system approach? The word approach means methods, methodology, or how you do something. And sometimes you may think of it as going near or going towards, approaching something. But system approach, in this sense, it means how you will develop a system, and then how you will manage after the system have been developed. Okay, so system approach is the systematic planning, preparation, implementation, and evaluation of a new system, or improve an existing system through identifying relevant components, laying down appropriate logical steps, relationship and interactions of all components and subcomponents or elements, controlling and assessing the efficiency of the whole operation, or solving existing problems. So this is one of the definition of system approach. If you can make it, write your own definition of system approach. Okay. Now, system approach, again, review what you have listened or watched in the first clip. Components comprise abstract and concrete factors, right? Abstract factors are invisible, non-physical, and untouchable, such as ideology, comprising philosophy, mission, visions, and commitments, job description, and assessment. We have heard about this before. Concrete factors are physical and perceivable via the five senses. What are the five senses? Ears, eyes, ears, touching hand, tongue, and nose, smelling. Okay, five senses. For example, physical environment, personal infrastructure, building, streets, power, water supply, telephone, computer, and telecommunication network, machines, devices, and materials. These are the concrete that you can actually see and hear, touch, smell, and taste. Okay. Now let's have a look at the so-called CIPOF model. We have mentioned about this in the first clip of our video. Types of components based on CIPOF model comprise five group of components. First, context. C. They are circumstances, setting, and environment. Physical environment, psychological environment, and social environment. I. Input, factors needed for the system. P. Process, logical steps of the system. O. Output, outcomes, products of the system. F. Feedback, controlling mechanism of the system from customer satisfaction, smooth operation, and impacts. Okay. Now, we will have a look at two models of system procedure, meaning how to develop the system. What you have heard is ADDIE model. ADDIE model comprises ADDIE. A. Analysis. D. Design. D. Another one, development. I. Implementation. And E. Evaluation. This is ADDIE model. no one actually know who coined this ADDIE model. Seems unknown. Right hand side is ASME's model, coined by Brahmawong in 1977. Comprising analysis, which actually the full one will be system analysis. Second, synthesis, system modeling, system evaluation in system simulation. Okay, ASME's model. Let's have a look at each of the steps. This is ADDIE model. Analysis, design, development, comprise the so-called developmental testing to check if the system is good as set criteria or criterion by going to the so-called try out stage, and after it's met with the criterion, we put in the so-called trial run in the real time, in the real situation for a specific period. Okay, small scale conduct. And then after then we will put into large scale implementation and followed by evaluation. Okay, so usually when you start to do some innovative prototype or something, you usually end up with this first to make sure that your system is good before put it into large scale implementation. And then at the end of the cycle of the innovation, they need to have some evaluation. This is ASME's model, system analysis. We talk about that later as to what it is: system synthesis, system modeling, system evaluation, and system component. System simulation. Now let's talk about system analysis. System analysis is the process of scanning and reviewing the present system based on a framework such as CIPOF Model or other model. You can use other framework to scan and analyze existing system, to identify components, logical steps, and problems, to categorize and analyze components into three groups. Good one, keep it. Modifiable, not so bad, not so good, we have to modify, keep it. And unnecessary or obsolete component, you throw it away. Okay. The aim of the system analysis, SA, is to get a baseline information for developing or modifying the present system to meet the needs of the organization in which the system is in normal use. Okay. So the system analysis is to find out which components are good, modifiable, or bad, obsolete, and throw away. Okay. The second, now let's talk about some point of the C. Okay, context or setting. Comprising circumstances and environment surrounding the system. We have real environment and virtual environment. What is real environment? Real environment is physical environment, infrastructure, building, streets, facilities. Psychological environment, warm-heartedness, friendliness, broad-mindedness, understanding, empathy, and sympathy. Social environment, relationship, customs, tradition, beliefs, faith, and culture. Okay, this is called real environment. Now, what about virtual environment? Virtual environment is the environment not perceivable through the five senses of human being, embedded in two forms. Virtual environment in two forms. Mind-based, VE is a virtual environment. The mind of an individual through thinking and imagination, such as past memories, music and song, literature, poems and verses. Everything in the past become virtual environment of an individual. But what we are talking, giving more emphasis is the computer-generated virtual environment. On screen, virtual environment, virtual reality, VR, and on augmented reality, AR. So when you discuss about virtual environment, most people talk about number two here. No, very few people think of what is in our mind as virtual environment. Okay, we call this back channel information. Okay. In real environment, okay, in real environment, this is a quite new idea. Okay, in real environment, people are selfish to provide the anatta of physical body, food, dresses, and shelter. This is the physical body's selfishness. We call in Thai เห็นแก่ตัว เห็นแก่ตัว selfish for the body. Food, dress, and home, the dwelling. But in virtual reality, people are selfish to provide their astral bodies holy energy. Holy energy is the energy that you will need to have, otherwise you will die. So in Buddhist we call bunya, okay, to elevate, to bring up, or to float your self or soul, which is atta. You see, opposite to anatta. Anatta isตัว, is body, but atta is you cannot see it. To the outer space of the universe, of the universality. In Buddhist we call Nibbana. Okay, this is the true self or selfishness. เห็นแก่ตน Okay, เห็นแก่ตน So virtual environment is back channel. Okay. Now the second part of the CIPOF is I. Input are basic factors needed to run the system, of course divided into abstract and concrete. Abstract inputs, ideology, we discussed about that. Needs are necessary and unavoidable factors. Wants are necessary luxurious factors. Concept, faith, and beliefs. Values, okay, and technology. These are we call abstract inputs. Concrete inputs are places, venues, school, classroom, lecture hall, laboratories, workshops, cafeteria, so on and so forth. Production tools, machineries, service tools and devices, office machines, and facilities. These are concrete input. Now the third of the CIPOF model is the P, process. Process is the act of putting basic factors into logical order and turn them into desirable outputs and outcomes as stated in the objectives. So process comprising three major steps: planning, preparing, and implementing. Okay. This is the process. The fourth one, the fourth of CIPOF is the O, output or outcomes. The products, the O are products resulted from the process. Products are divided into four good products based on objectives. Bad products, not as good as we want it to be. Byproducts, when you do something, when you do the sawing work, the carpentry work, you have to refine wood, and then the stuff that you have to throw away are byproducts, which are sometimes very useful, and you can sell it also. You can sell them. And the last one, unexpected outcomes. This is the worst thing. If you don't expect outcome good enough, it will result in very bad situation. For example, vegetable oil. In Thailand, we started to stop using pork oil and use vegetable oils for the period of 20 or 30 years. Cancer roam over Thai people. This is one example of unexpected outcome. So the products, outputs or outcomes are achieved through evaluation or assessment, embracing three phases: pre-test or pre-evaluation, formative evaluation, and summative evaluation. Pre, during, and post. What you are doing, okay. The last one, F, feedback. Feedback is the controlling mechanism to help determine the working quality of a system through the user satisfaction, impacts, and sustainability of the system. Okay. So these are the CIPOF models. I would like to call your attention to the importance of CIPOF model. When you do anything at all, do not jump to the middle, starting from considering context or setting first. So what you are doing now, what you are recommending people to do, what you are suggesting people to do, you have to look at the context. You tell them to use the internet. There's not even the power or electricity. There's no Wi-Fi available. That means that you tell them to use the internet without thinking of the context. So starting from context and setting first, and then look around, what do you have? Of course, when you are in Western countries like the UK, France, Germany, there are many, many things. But in our countries in Thailand, we have, but not in that sense. We have green trees, vegetable, and all sort of things, which are actually more important to human body than petroleum, than jewelry at all. See? So you look around and make use of what you have. In Thailand or Siam has very long history. Actually, it's dated 8,000 years. 8,000 years recorded in the stone tablet. But the Thai historians do not believe that. They believe what the Western historians tell them, that Thailand's history is only 800 years. But when you look at the Tipitaka, the Thai Buddhist scripture, Siam is 40 million years or more. The first Buddha, Kakusanto Buddha, was born in the present land of Royet province, Khemawadi Nakhon. later on turned to be Saket. Saket, it means the city of 101 gates or doors, you see. Don't listen to Western ideas so much. You get lost. The way Thai people have been doing in the last 100 years or more. Follow our brother China, for example. They have long history of 7,500 years. I was giving you is that we all were brothers. So we respect each other, Thailand and China, and other neighboring countries here. So stop following Western ideas. This is my point. Okay. So CIPOF model will help you do that. We keep emphasis on our context and setting, input our neurons, process, output and feedback by our people. When you say you are a good boy, let we Thai people or Chinese people say ourselves, not to let the white people say, hey, Thailand, you're a good boy. No. We have to do it ourselves. Okay. So let me stop this clip at this moment before going to the fourth one.